Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor. Today we've got the sound system demo of the 2022 Lexus UX and its 8-speaker premium audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the infotainment system works, take a look at audio adjustments, controls, inputs, speaker locations, Apple Carplay, and then get out on the road and listen to these sample tracks while we're rolling, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. If you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning, you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And if you want to hear even more behind-the-scenes audio recording content, sign up to become a Daily Motor member. There you can hear behind-the-scenes music and customized tracks requested by other members. So if you want to help support the channel and see some more sound tests, check the link in the description. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. Down here in sunny Orlando, Florida, driving this 22 Lexus UX. This is an F-Sport hybrid version, which has kind of been awesome for this trip, to be honest, because we've been averaging 40 miles per gallon, and it's been quiet and comfortable. It's almost like the perfect travel and rental vehicle. So if you do want to see more on the UX, check the link in the description. We'll have a winding road test drive and then maybe a DM test drive as well. Now, we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV audio files and a USB stick plugged directly into the system, and high-quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with the sound settings set to their factory defaults. Let's take a look at those now. Unfortunately, this does not have an updated Lexus interface that's a touchscreen, and it certainly doesn't have the new interface that the NX has, which is much improved over this. This is an older system using this trackpad. Once you do get over the learning curve, it's not awful to use, but certain things are just not as intuitive as they would be if you could reach up and touch it. But you can see here we're in the media screen, and you go over to the left, you go down to sound. You've got standard front, rear, left, right, fader, and balance there, and then treble, mid-range, and bass. Let's go through those now. Very easy to go too far before you click. Whoops. On top of that, you've got an automatic sound levelizer, so as you get going faster, it'll raise the aspects and sounds and volumes of certain sounds to make it sound better and kind of louder. And then you have a surround mode on and off. Just toggle that on and then off. As surround modes go, it is a little subtle, but I think I prefer it off. Sounds just a little bit less hollow that way. For audio controls in the new UX, you have one of the weirdest volume knobs I've ever encountered. It's hiding right here behind this center area, and it's a little scroller that you use with the front of your fingers. And at first, it really threw me off, because Alyssa and I got in the car here at the airport, and we're like, what is going on? The music was playing really loud, and we wanted to turn it down. I was like, I don't know where the volume knob is. I just used the wheel. But now that I know where it is, it's actually really cool to use, because you can quickly turn the music up or down, and your hand can just stay in one spot here, and I can switch between tracks and volume without ever moving my hand. And it's a very natural resting place too, so I actually do kind of like that volume knob. But you do also have volume on the left side of the steering wheel, a little clicker. Track selection, you also have a roller you can do right here, tune with your thumb, or is there a physical control up here? It doesn't look like it. So you can use the touch screen if you're on the media screen, or you can use the right side of the steering wheel. For audio inputs, you have your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio, Bluetooth, USB-A ports, a CD player, something we do not see very often anymore, and I bet you after the UX's redesign we won't see that, and a 3.5mm auxiliary input jack. Those USB-A ports do have support for Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. What does that mean you're missing? Well, no wireless Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, and no USB-C ports. Not too surprising since this is a little bit of an older design, but I bet you that'll be coming in the next refresh of the UX. Speaker locations, as I said, this is an 8-speaker system. Starting in the bottom left, you've got door woofer, and then what I assume to be kind of mid-range tweeter sort of sounds up there, 2 3 center, 4, 5. Getting in the back, have 6 and 7. And then a pretty impressive subwoofer back here in the trunk on the side, making 8. All right, now unfortunately I did not bring my Android phone on this trip to do an Android Auto demonstration, but I do have an iPhone, so I can hop on there real quick and show you Apple CarPlay. However, I do not think you can use both USB ports at the same time. I'm pretty sure if I plug in this CarPlay device, nothing's going to happen until I unplug my USB stick, which does play our music. Oh, just kidding, it kicked off the USB stick, and now we're going to Apple CarPlay. So as I said, it is not a touchscreen, so you have to navigate Apple CarPlay using the trackpad, and that can get a bit cumbersome and frustrating. It's doable, but not as easy as touching it. But you can see it does look good. Nice up there, widescreen, good resolution. Over to the side, there's your home screen. Let's go over to Amazon Music. See how that works. There's your main play screen. Google Maps. Can't really move around the map. You can click this and then use these up-down buttons. But man, that just gets really cumbersome when you're trying to drive the car. And then let's go over to the settings screen. It takes a little time. There we are. Android Auto would work pretty similarly. Would probably look pretty similar, and you'd still have to use the trackpad. All right, let's get this put away, get the music going again, and get out on the road. hardest things about tuning an audio system is getting those mid-range sounds to come through crisp in all sorts of different driving environments. You have so many challenges with the cabin, with the tires, the engine, so many different aspects that audio engineers have to be concerned with. It's fairly simple, and I know I'm oversimplifying a bit, but it's fairly easy to just toss in a big subwoofer and create big boom bass. I mean, just look at pretty much any new Chrysler vehicle, they do that through and through. And you could put some tweeters up near the windshield and create pretty good crisps fairly easy. But getting complex songs like this to come through and sound good at all different levels of volume is really difficult. And unfortunately, the UX is stumbling a bit there with those sounds. You hear in this sound the guitar and the higher drum combos. It's just messy. And the unfortunate thing is when that happens, it comes through harsh in your ears and makes songs undesirable to listen to. That's why a lot of pop music is very much just a kind of a high end tis tis tis, and then a low bass rumbly type sound, an R&B sort of deal, because that sounds good on most stereo systems. But in order for a song like this to come through crisp and sound good to the ears at high volumes, it takes some pretty special tuning, and unfortunately, not really seeming like the UX has that. For this next song, we're going to turn the bass all the way up and listen to that subwoofer back there work. A really impressive amount of power for a car this size. I'm getting mirror shakeage inside and out. I'm feeling it rumble a little bit in my chest. Really happy with the subwoofer back there. My thoughts on the Lexus UX's sound system here, this 250h F Sport model. Yeah, there's just something, too much sound is coming from up here, from those should just be tweeters. Those should only be taking care of the really high-end, the crisp sounds, and then your door woofers, your door speakers should really be handling the meat and potatoes of the mid-range. We're getting a lot of subwoofer, which I like. We're getting not a great amount, but a decent amount of high-end, which I like, but that mid-range, things are coming through too high and too in front, and it's just creating a muddled, it's a harsh on your ears experience, and that's unfortunate. So I would be giving this a C, very, very middle of the road. What's interesting though is if you do mess around with the tuning, you can take the bass, mid-range, and treble and turn them way up, and it does sort of create a delineation between the sounds and honestly makes for a more pleasurable listening experience in my eyes. Now, we test at flat EQ because that's what the audio engineers intended the system to sound like. So I'm trying to get inside of their heads and hear, okay, why did they think this was the best setting for this audio system? But it is salvageable, if you will. You can make it sound better by playing with those settings, but in stock form, the C system. Thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the Lexus UX, we might have a little bit of a review here, and then once we get this car up at Daily Motor HQ, we can do a little fuel economy test. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.